California Real Estate Exam Disclosure Questions. Question 1. How should Miles treat licensed negotiation work for another person when compensation is expected? Option A. Only a properly licensed person acting through a responsible broker may perform the activity. Option B. A notary may handle negotiations when escrow is open. Option C. Anyone may negotiate if the parties sign a written waiver. Option D. A salesperson may perform it independently after passing the state exam. The correct answer is option A. Only a properly licensed person acting through a responsible broker may perform the activity. California license law generally requires licensed real estate acts for another for compensation to be performed under a responsible broker. A notary role does not substitute for a real estate broker or salesperson license. A private waiver does not remove statutory licensing requirements. A salesperson license does not authorize independent brokerage activity. Question 2. After NIA shares confidential negotiating limits with an agent, which duty continues even after the agency ends? Option A. The duty to obey new instructions forever. Option B. Confidentiality regarding the principal's protected information. Option C. The duty to guarantee financing approval. Option D. The duty to set the property value for tax purposes. The correct answer is option B. Confidentiality regarding the principal's protected information. Confidentiality generally survives termination of the agency relationship for information learned in confidence. Obedience applies to lawful instructions during the agency relationship, not forever. Agents do not guarantee a lender's underwriting decision. Property tax values are determined through tax assessment rules rather than agency duties. Question 3. Why does a listing broker still owe some duties to an unrepresented buyer for Silas in Modesto? Option A. Non-clients must discover every defect without assistance. Option B. Escrow becomes the buyer's legal advisor. Option C. Licensees must deal honestly and disclose material facts even to non-clients. Option D. Only clients can receive truthful information. The correct answer is option C. Licensees must deal honestly and disclose material facts even to non-clients. A licensee owes fiduciary duties to the principal but also owes honesty, fair dealing, and proper material disclosures to third parties. Buyers have inspection responsibilities, but that does not permit concealment of material facts. Escrow remains neutral and does not become a legal advisor. Truthfulness is not limited to clients. Stressed about your California real estate exam? We can take California real estate exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. What problem arises if a licensee tells owners to sell quickly because a protected group is moving into the area for Clara in Fresno? Option A. It is a normal appraisal adjustment. Option B. It is required market forecasting. Option C. It is permitted if prices are rising. Option D. That conduct resembles blockbusting and violates fair housing policy. The correct answer is option D. That conduct resembles blockbusting and violates fair housing policy. Blockbusting involves inducing transactions by exploiting fear related to protected class changes in a neighborhood. Appraisal adjustments must be based on market data, not protected class panic. Market forecasting does not permit discriminatory fear-based tactics. Rising prices do not make discriminatory conduct lawful. Question 5. Why should a contingency deadline in PREA's offer be monitored carefully? Option A. Missing the deadline can affect rights to cancel, proceed, or protect a deposit. Option B. Deadlines only matter after the deed is recorded. Option C. A contingency deadline automatically changes the interest rate. Option D. All deadlines are optional if the buyer is nervous. The correct answer is option A. Missing the deadline can affect rights to cancel, proceed, or protect a deposit. Contingencies give parties specified rights within stated time periods, so deadlines can affect contract remedies and deposit risk. Recording is a transfer step, not the first moment contract deadlines matter. Interest rates are governed by loan terms rather than contingency dates. Emotional uncertainty does not make contract deadlines optional. Question 6. How does fee simple ownership generally differ from a leasehold interest in a coastal cottage for Ethan in Monterey? Option A. A leasehold always includes mineral ownership. Option B. Fee simple is ownership of the estate, while a leasehold is a right of possession for a term. Option C. A leasehold is the same as community property. Option D. Fee simple lasts only 1 year. The correct answer is option B. Fee simple is ownership of the estate, while a leasehold is a right of possession for a term. Fee simple is the broadest common ownership estate, while a leasehold gives possession under lease terms. A leasehold does not automatically convey mineral rights. Community property is a marital ownership form rather than a leasehold estate. Fee simple is not limited to 1 year. Question 7. Why might a quitclaim deed be used to clear a possible title issue involving OSHA? Option A. It substitutes for a preliminary title report. Option B. It guarantees market value. Option C. It releases whatever interest the signer may have without warranting title. Option D. It creates a new mortgage loan. The correct answer is option C. It releases whatever interest the signer may have without warranting title. A quitclaim deed can release a possible claim or interest without promising that the signer actually owns title. A preliminary title report identifies title matters and is not replaced by a deed. Market value is not guaranteed by a deed. A mortgage or deed of trust secures debt rather than clearing a possible claim. Question 8. Before escrow closes on a mobile home lot, why does the escrow officer request payoff information for Darius in Bakersfield? Option A. To decide if the broker earned a license. Option B. To appraise the property for tax purposes. Option C. To choose the buyer's homeowners association. Option D. To know the amount needed to satisfy existing liens being paid through closing. The correct answer is option D. To know the amount needed to satisfy existing liens being paid through closing. Payoff statements help escrow close out existing loans or liens that must be paid at settlement. Broker licensing is handled by DRE rather than payoff statements. Tax appraisal is not performed by escrow payoff review. HOA selection is not determined by loan payoff information. Are you looking for California real estate exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access California real estate exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get California real estate exam answer key today. Question 9. A lender charges 1 point on a $2,100,000 loan. What does 1 point represent? Option A. 1% of the loan amount. Option B. 1 day of prepaid rent. Option C. 1 month of property taxes. Option D. 1% of the property acreage. The correct answer is option A. 1% of the loan amount. A point is a finance charge equal to 1% of the loan amount. Prepaid rent is a settlement item rather than a loan point. Property taxes are assessed charges, not loan discount points. Acreage is a land measurement and unrelated to points. Question 10. A deposit is received as something other than cash in a sale of commercial storefront. Why must the seller be informed clearly for Hero in Oakland? Option A. The escrow holder becomes the seller's broker. Option B. The seller needs to know the true form and reliability of the offered deposit. Option C. The buyer then owns the property immediately. Option D. The loan must be cancelled automatically. The correct answer is option B. The seller needs to know the true form and reliability of the offered deposit. The form of a deposit can matter to the seller's decision because different instruments carry different collection risks. Escrow remains neutral and does not become the seller's broker. A deposit does not by itself transfer title. A loan is not automatically cancelled by the form of deposit. Question 11. A licensee notices a visible shared driveway dispute during a walk-through. How should this be handled for Tanya in Santa Rosa? Option A. Ignore it if the seller says not to mention it. Option B. Mention it only after close of escrow. Option C. Disclose known material facts and recommend appropriate investigation. Option D, hide it because buyers must discover everything themselves. The correct answer is option C. Disclose known material facts and recommend appropriate investigation. Known material facts affecting value or desirability must be handled honestly and disclosed when required. A seller's instruction does not permit concealment. Post-closing disclosure is usually too late to protect the buyer's decision. Buyer investigation duties do not excuse non-disclosure of known material facts. Question 12. Why would an appraiser use the income approach for a condominium unit for NOAA in Palm Springs? Option A. The owner wants to avoid disclosures. Option B. The property is always owner-occupied. Option C. The property has no expenses. Option D. The property's value is strongly tied to its income stream. The correct answer is option D. The property's value is strongly tied to its income stream. The income approach converts expected income into an indication of value. Disclosures are legal duties and are not avoided by appraisal method. Owner-occupied property is less commonly the focus of income capitalization. Income property can still have expenses. Question 13. A rental building sells for $420,000 and produces annual gross rent. Why would an investor use GRM? Option A. To compare price to gross rental income. Option B. To determine agency disclosure timing. Option C. To verify legal title. Option D. To calculate the deed recording fee only. The correct answer is option A. To compare price to gross rental income. Gross rent multiplier relates sale price to gross rental income for quick income minus property comparison. Agency disclosure timing is a representation issue. Title verification is handled through title review. Recording fees are settlement costs rather than GRM analysis. Question 14. How does a sublease differ from an assignment in a rental townhome for Maya in Stockton? Option A. A sublease always transfers fee title. Option B. A sublease transfers less than the tenant's full remaining interest. Option C. A sublease records a mortgage lien. Option D. A sublease ends all landlord obligations immediately. The correct answer is option B. A sublease transfers less than the tenant's full remaining interest. A sublease gives another occupant less than the full remaining leasehold interest, leaving the original tenant with a reversionary interest. Fee title remains with the owner. A mortgage lien is a financing instrument, not a sublease. The landlord's obligations are not automatically ended by a sublease. Question 15. A legal use existed before a new zoning ordinance made it inconsistent. What concept may allow it to continue for Cayenne Ventura? Option A. Defeasance clause. Option B. Novation only. Option C. Legal non-conforming use. Option D. Divulsion. The correct answer is option C. Legal non-conforming use. A legal non-conforming use may continue when it lawfully existed before a zoning change, subject to local rules. A defeasance clause concerns loan payoff and title release concepts. Novation replaces contractual obligations and does not preserve zoning uses. Avulsion is sudden land loss or gain by natural forces. Question 16. A buyer is concerned about asbestos in an older coastal cottage. How should a licensee respond for Zara in Riverside? Option A. Tell the buyer inspections are illegal before closing. Option B. State that asbestos is impossible in California buildings. Option C. Remove the material personally during the showing. Option D. Recommend appropriate professional inspection or evaluation and avoid unsupported assurances. The correct answer is option D. Recommend appropriate professional inspection or evaluation and avoid unsupported assurances. Environmental concerns should be handled through disclosure, caution, and qualified professional evaluation. Inspections are commonly part of due diligence when permitted by the contract. Asbestos can exist in older buildings and should not be dismissed categorically. Licensees should not perform hazardous removal work outside their expertise. Question 17. Why might a special assessment appear on a property tax bill for a warehouse condo for Samir in Pasadena? Option A. It helps pay for a specific public improvement or service benefiting property. Option B. It pays the buyer's private moving costs. Option C. It replaces all mortgage interest. Option D. It cancels the seller's disclosure duties. The correct answer is option A. It helps pay for a specific public improvement or service benefiting property. Special assessments are charges tied to particular public improvements or services, such as infrastructure. Private moving costs are not public assessments. Mortgage interest remains a financing matter. Disclosure duties are separate from assessments. Question 18. How should a licensee handle online comments about a protected class near a listing for Yara in Los Angeles? Option A. Use protected-class trends as a pricing tool. Option B. Avoid discriminatory statements and keep marketing focused on lawful property features. Option C. Ask followers to vote on who should buy. Option D. Repeat the comments if they increase views. The correct answer is option B. Avoid discriminatory statements and keep marketing focused on lawful property features. Ethical and fair housing advertising should focus on property facts and lawful criteria rather than protected-class preferences. Protected-class trends are not a lawful pricing tool. Crowd voting on protected traits would be improper. Engagement metrics do not justify discrimination. Stressed about your California real estate exam? We can take California real estate exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. How should a responsible broker supervise salespersons using digital transaction tools for our June in Long Beach? Option A. Avoid reviewing digital files because they are electronic. Option B. Let software replace broker supervision entirely. Option C. Maintain policies and review practices that ensure compliant brokerage activity. Option D. Allow each salesperson to create separate trust accounts freely. The correct answer is option C. Maintain policies and review practices that ensure compliant brokerage activity. Broker supervision applies to electronic workflows as well as paper files. Electronic records still require review and retention. Software can assist but does not replace broker responsibility. Trust account use must follow broker-controlled rules. Question 20. A citation and fine from the DRADE generally serves what purpose for Bianca in Chula Vista? Option A. Automatic transfer of property title. Option B. Creation of a life estate. Option C. Approval of a subdivision public report. Option D. Administrative enforcement of specified violations. The correct answer is option D. Administrative enforcement of specified violations. Citations and fines are enforcement tools used to address certain violations. They do not transfer ownership. They do not create estates in land. Subdivision public reports are separate regulatory approvals. Question 21. Why should buyers review CC&RS before purchasing a condominium unit for Marisol in Sacramento? Option A. CC&RS may restrict use, improvements, leasing, and owner obligations. Option B. CC&RS replace the buyer's loan application. Option C. CC&RS eliminate all monthly assessments. Option D. CC&RS guarantee future appreciation. The correct answer is option A. CC&RS may restrict use, improvements, leasing, and owner obligations. CC&RS can materially affect how a unit or lot may be used within a common interest development. Loan approval still requires lender review. Assessments may be created rather than eliminated by HOA documents. Appreciation is not guaranteed by governing documents. Question 22. A lease expires but the tenant remains without a new agreement. What is the tenant commonly called for Jamal and Irvine? Option A. Dominant tenement owner. Option B. Holdover tenant. Option C. Vendee under a land contract. Option D. Truster under a deed of trust. The correct answer is option B. Holdover tenant. A holdover tenant remains in possession after the lease term ends without a new agreement. A dominant tenement benefits from an easement. A vendee is a buyer under a land contract. A truster is the borrower/property owner under a deed of trust. Question 23. Why might riparian rights matter for land next to a river for Nora in Modesto? Option A. They are the same as fair housing rights. Option B. They create a broker commission lien automatically. Option C. They concern water use rights connected to land bordering a watercourse. Option D. They prevent all zoning restrictions. The correct answer is option C. They concern water use rights connected to land bordering a watercourse. Riparian rights involve land adjoining rivers or streams and the related use of water. Fair housing rights address discrimination in housing. Commission liens are separate legal concepts. Zoning may still regulate land use. Question 24. How does a loan estimate assist Caleb during financing? Option A. It replaces the promissory note after closing. Option B. It creates an easement over the property. Option C. It guarantees the final appraisal value. Option D. It summarizes key loan terms and estimated settlement charges. The correct answer is option D. It summarizes key loan terms and estimated settlement charges. Loan estimates help borrowers compare terms, projected payments, and closing costs. The promissory note remains the repayment obligation. Easements are property rights unrelated to loan estimates. Appraisal value is determined by appraisal analysis. Question 25. Why must settlement figures be reviewed for accuracy before signing for May in Anaheim? Option A. Errors can affect cash to close, proceeds, payoffs, and contractual compliance. Option B. Reviewing figures cancels escrow automatically. Option C. Figures are never material. Option D. Only the appraiser can read closing documents. The correct answer is option A. Errors can affect cash to close, proceeds, payoffs, and contractual compliance. Closing figures determine important financial obligations and should be checked carefully. Review does not cancel escrow by itself. Settlement errors can be very material. Parties, brokers, escrow, and lenders may all review documents within their roles.